We are Bluebell Community Development Project. We are a not-for-profit organization that is directly funded by nobody. We work with everyone that crosses our door or that allows us to cross theirs. We try to act as a catalyst for positive change as we support those who have less to take their rightful place in society. Difference shape our world, and we in the project embrace difference. We strive to be an effective role model for mainstreaming the realization of human rights and as an animator for social change and social inclusion. The Friday morning big breakfast is our flagship and was born out of observation by staff from our project while working with older men in shelter housing of a need to feed. Some of the men we were working with had little or sometimes nothing in the presses or fridge. What started off as a breakfast morning for older men developed over a short period of time into a space which is now a melting pot of diversity that creates an integrated broth of goodness that lifts both body and soul. There is a real feeling of letting go of preconceived notions of oneself and others, of a wealth of diversity and positivity that emanates from people there. In this space, sausages and egg are consumed by all of us to the sound of laughter, conversation, and beautiful noise, all generated from fun, love, respect, and a sense of belonging. Every Friday morning, the project engages in a celebration of difference that endeavors to capture the reward for us as human beings by engaging in what difference has to offer. We are Bluebell Community Development Project. Thank you.
This is a dobro. It's been in the attic for years. My name is Barney, and I'm from Ballyfermot. I lived in Bluebell for 25 years, and this dobro has been in the attic there. My family were all painters. Painting is a very boring job. So a lot of painters sing, a bunch of guys working, maybe one has a good voice or something on a Tuesday afternoon on a building site, call and response. I love old American music. Learned to work out all the tunings by ear from old records. There was no YouTube. I got great satisfaction knowing that I'd worked it out. You know, people just aren't watching TV, you know. It can take a lifetime to figure out that this is the picture you're in. And the special needs kids, they come in and they respond to a smile with a smile. They love that. You remember their names? Such a simple thing makes them happy. And to be honest, I've always been like that myself. The crazy about the music, the crazy about it. Thank you.
The Old Grey Whistle Test, 1982. I was 18. When I first heard my favourite band, Japan. Mick Karn on a fretless bass. I remember thinking, that's what I want to do. The bass is like no other instrument. It hits your very soul. I went on to become a professional musician with many highs and lows. But I fell out with music. I got fed up with all the egos. I was burnt out. I sold all my instruments and didn't play for 10 years. My name is Paul Holmes. I'm a community project worker in Bluebell CDP. Since coming here, I've rediscovered my passion for music. I feel like I'm 18 again. Music can do that. It consumes you. Sometimes we meet people in our lives who can change it. I'm so happy to have met them here.
You don't have to tell people to participate. People want to do things. They want to express themselves. It's part of their makeup to find that. I'm from Inchicore. I know all around Bluebell. When I was a young fella, I would have fished on the canal. We'd go on our bikes along the towpaths all the way to Kildare. My mother came from Ballyfermot. They had a small farm, and she had a beautiful memory of it, of an ideal life, of trees and fields and little boreens, blackberries and bicycles, the 20s and 30s, and she talked about it any chance she got. I was always into art, always trying to find out how to paint the elements and the mountains and rivers. I like mixing colours. You find out something new every time. When I'm not painting, I'm thinking about it, trying to sort something out, break things down to the essence, to simplicity, looking for forms and colors that are exciting, bringing that into something, bringing it away from something, and simplifying it again into shapes that are meaningful. I work with the special needs people. It's doing something in the moment. And people are actively engaged. And then we collect work. We are trying to get it up everywhere in the building so that people can see it. Maybe something pops out at them. I try to be aware of them, but not impose myself on what they are doing. Because they are them and you are you. But good work can come from what you might call an honest input into that work.
I've been sitting with men in groups, week in, week out, mostly older men like myself, for 20 years now. I try very hard to remind us that whatever comes up with any man is welcome. We're there to listen to each other, to give each other good attention, something that we don't often get in any other places. In fact, for lots of us, in any other place. We ask each other to listen and allow each man to work through whatever has arisen. We meet every Friday, the Bluebell Men's Group. We sit in a circle and listen to each other. We pay attention to how each man is. We each get a chance to talk about whatever it is that's on our mind. Sometimes it's a struggle to say what's upsetting me. It takes practice to trust other men. It takes practice to trust other men, but after all the time we've spent together, I know that I can trust them with my struggle. And it's not all struggle. It's also a place to celebrate, to be joyful, a place to talk about my grandchildren and how much I love being around them. There are usually 6 or 7 of us. Some of us have been meeting now for nearly 8 years. And we know that whatever we have to say will be heard and respected and not judged, and be completely confidential. There's no slagging, no jeering, just listening and being quiet and paying good attention to the man speaking about himself. When something heavy arrives, we look to acknowledge that. We look to acknowledge the pain and accept the anger that's there. Sometimes this is the only place, the only container for that anger. It's fantastic to see men that I have sat with for years begin to find our voice and discover friendship and fellowship. I know that I wouldn't be as alive and well as I am today if I didn't have men's groups for the past 20 years.
Once it takes you, it won't let you go. This addiction to the truth tale. I had a great teacher, a master of story. He showed us the way to open our minds, and he would become men. For us, he would act out, give life to the detail, till we saw them ourselves. And I was hooked in, and I stayed hooked in. He gave us the knowledge and love of the way, and you would do anything to serve this addiction. Travel hundreds of miles to see names on a gravestone. Once it takes you, it won't let you go. This addiction to the true detail.
Sometimes the signal jumps. That means that underneath the first thing is another object. If you don't look, you'll never know. I have to start off by saying that this is not legal. People don't know the ins and outs. It's legal to buy one. It's legal to own one. But it's not legal to use one. You need a license. You have to work in a museum. You have to be an archaeologist. We could be talking about the Viking era or the Victorian era. But to get there, you need a very powerful machine. There's 40 millimeters of dirt laid down for every decade. So if you want to get down to the 14th century, you have to dig down. They take off the top 4 feet. You're traveling through time, going back through the centuries. It sinks with the rain, but when they plow a field, they churn up the earth, and stuff comes to the surface. It will stay on the surface till it sinks again. A lot of guys are drinking on the beach. I clean up the glass. For every coin, you'll find 100 bull rings. You can hear the tones. They tell you what it is. But sometimes the signal jumps. That means that underneath the first thing is another object. If you don't look, you'll never know. Sometimes the signal jumps. That means that underneath the first thing is another object. If you don't look, you'll never know.
One, two. I was told to say that. My life was so broken up. It took me a lot of years to put the pieces back together again. Things that happened, things I did. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living that I have a problem with. I have problems that won't ever go away. Things that happened, things I did, and I have to live with them every single day. But it's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living that I have a problem with. People say, forget the past, but sometimes I'm sitting at home. Something comes on the TV, but it's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living that I have a problem with. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living. It's not the drinking, it's the living. That's a problem for me.
So, 0 lectures, just right now, okay?
I walk to the water. I walk beside the water. I'm gaining every day, and I'm a good listener. We travel a long way to meet people like this. You learn a lot from meeting people. I find great peace in the life outside. I went out on the roads at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was June, and I started walking. You can't swim if you can't breathe. I meditate and move. And it's my life. I don't hurt anybody. The peace that I find. I came from a place there was nothing, always looking for a calmer space. I walk to the water, I walk to the water. I find the water, I walk beside the water. I walk to the water. I walk beside the water. Can I just say this piece is Kathleen Ryan's story? She'll be 15 in May. She's so tiny. I have her 3 years. Before that, I would mind her. But in the end, he asked me to take her for good. A little ball of fluff. I love her, I love her. I think the world of her. She's like a child to me. I love animals, I always did. You name it, we had everything. Cats, dogs, birds. We had a monkey for a few weeks. We had to boil her an egg and make her jelly. I love David Attenborough. I look through the paper to see what's on. Monkey's World in Dorset. A man had a monkey for 36 years, and none of his neighbours even knew. They have all their own ways. They're like little children, running and chasing one another and hiding.
again.